People trying to say she may have quit.
Mel.
Yeah, I've been
Yes,
hearing
that's
that.
what
I saw
they've been
Scotty
saying.
video.
But I don't know if she's actually like said I quit. I know she took them out of her bio,
Mm.
and that doesn't surprise me.
And they said she unfollowed Carlos or she unfollowed the show. I can't remember. I think she
Carlos
might
for
have
sure.
unfollowed Carlos.
Wow, wow, wow.
I mean, well, we might as well just go ahead and get into it. So, Love and Marriage Huntsville, people. This past episode, the main thing that we come to find out is that Chris Fletcher done set Trisha up with Martel back whenever they fuck. Mel said that that lady fucked my husband in my house, but she got an attitude with me. Okay. And then we also had Destiny with her dad trying to, basically, I feel like make us pay attention to her past so we won't pay attention to the fact that we still not getting anything from her current life.
Hmm.
So there's that. And then Martel and Tisha and Marsau, and how Marsau made Tisha sit there while Martel read her the fuck down about being slow and a dumb wife and all those things. It was a lot going on. I'm gonna just tell y'all right now. Martel only ate Tisha up. Marsau does not protect Tisha. I don't know why she keeps calling him a protector. He's not a protector. A
Mm-mm.
protector would have bat the shit out of Martel in his mouth a long time ago for the way he talks to you and the way he runs up on you. Because Martel, if y'all know,
Especially this episode.
yeah, he will run in your face and be screaming and all of that in your face. He did that shit to Nell. And Chris was just standing there. Honestly, I think that I get it. Y'all don't want to get into fights with him, but at some point, somebody's gonna have to chest up to him. Marsau standing up and chesting up to Martel and Martel running away. That was cute and everything, but I would have loved for you to do that when he was talking crazy to Tisha, especially when y'all was at that field day and you just kind of sat there while he was screaming in Latisha's face and calling her a hoe in college and all of this type of shit. I know you were saying things, but to me, sometimes niggas like Martel, they need the chest up. Like they need you to stand up in their face and be like, nigga, this can go there. Like I know
Yeah,
you.
more than that, apparently, because they did that in front of Madani.
Yeah,
That
Lord.
one for Tisha.
He
Yeah, that
needs
was about Tisha,
attitude.
right? That was about Wanda.
Yeah, it was in Mel, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Wanda and
Mel
Mel.
wasn't even out there when that happened. That was Marsau, Maurice, and Martel arguing with each other, but it wasn't about Tisha. I can't remember what they were actually arguing about at the time. But
Me
I
neither.
Mel was even in a car. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Martel
I
should have got his ass whooped though.
yeah, in
Honestly,
that tight ass
he
suit.
was so disrespectful to her face, and I really don't. I was okay. Let me ask y'all this. I couldn't quite understand why Marceau made Tisha sit there, besides the fact that maybe he wanted to hear what Martel was going to say. He wanted to see Tisha's reaction.
No, I think he did it to piss Martel off. Having his wife there is like you don't have a wife, but I have a
Oh,
wife and I control my wife. So that's why it was all of that. You wish you had a wife. You wish you had one like me. That's why, because it
yeah,
was meant to
that's the
make
obvious answer.
Martel.
Yeah.
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 Sometimes it's the obvious is the easiest. These niggas is not that deep.
I
I
do
will
feel
say,
like oh, go ahead, Nece.
the last thing I was going to say about that, I don't think that Martel has anything additional on Marceau that he wants to spray. I think he's just talking.
I do think that Marceau waited all his life to let Martel know that I'm simply better than you in every aspect of your life. The only aspect you're not better than him at, in my personal opinion, is fatherhood. And you don't even know shit about when the hell your son's supposed to be taking graduation pictures and stuff. So I don't know about that aspect. I don't give a damn about everybody going up for Marceau because he's going against Martel. I don't care for neither one of them niggas, honestly. And I feel like he about as fake as the rest of them. Okay. So I feel like he waited all his life. I do believe at one point he was heavily jealous of Mel and Martel. Hell, if it weren't for Martel, your ass wouldn't be having some of the shit that you do got. But Martel, I will say that you made it easy for him to drag your ass because a lot of what you got going on is your fault. Okay. But I do feel like Marcel waited all his life to let him know I'm simply better than you. This, that, and the other. I did agree with Martel though. Like your wife shouldn't have to sit here in this conversation when us two men are talking. Like, why you got your wife sitting right here? So
Agreed.
I definitely agree with that, especially for him to sit there and insult that fucking woman and you ain't even try to like do nothing, but you're more focused about some damn um you're more focused about some yeah, I'm socking it to you. I still got my lady. Do you got her? Because let the word tell you, you motherfuckers is separated. But y'all don't want us to know that because y'all don't want to get no tea about that. But Carlos want to sit his ass on his platform and he want to sit up there and talk about Robin Dixon withholding information, but you ain't even giving everybody your storyline on your own damn show. Too busy trying to greenlit a whole nother one. But anyway, these folks, it's
Listen,
a
you ain't
mess.
never lie. We've been talking about that for the longest about how Carlos basically let them not showcase their lives and make the focus all on Mel and Martel for the most part. Any storyline that doesn't make them look bad, like basically, and the shit is just annoying and it's ran its course to the point that we don't even really
Hasn't it?
care. To the point where nobody cares what's going on with Marsau and Tisha. If he is cheating, we don't even care at this point. We would have cared when Kiki tried to out it at that table. That was the last time we was gonna give a fuck
That
about it.
was.
You know, Bondy, when you say that, that makes me think about Destiny. When Destiny sat up there and she started bringing the stuff about her dad, and people was like, "Oh, nah, you should have brought this to us when we was trying to sympathize with you a long time ago. It's too late."
It is.
Similar.
It is too late. It is too late, especially because I feel like you're doing it so you can get away with not sharing other things about yourself. You know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
she could at least directly address her relationship with Fletcher and Nell's son. What's his name?
Lance.
Lance. It's not fully addressed.
What is being addressed is that he's building shelves in a storage unit, bitch.
That
Like,
was crazy. It's so small. I'm like,
you have to go outside to have a conversation. It was so small in there. I was just like, why?
Wait, what you mean?
Her storage space, her little storage space that she's, boxing all of her Madani products in, all of her big dick energy
Oh,
products in. We saw him this episode going there to put shelves up inside that little bitty ass storage unit.
yeah,
And then the women, Tisha, Kimmy, and her had to go outside to have a conversation
oh,
because it
that
was so
part.
small in there.
yeah.
Then, I'm glad I said that shit. The way she looked about Moses, she called the federale on Moses, y'all. I don't care what nobody's talking about. She called the federale.
I hate that he had to go like that. I
It was
hate
the,
that this
it
is
was
the
the,
reason.
and my look, lyric was watching it. I said, babe, she did that shit. You like, nah, babe, she's just saying that because she happy about it. I was like, nah, watch this shit. I played it for him. He was like, yeah, it kind of looked like she was like, like, yeah, I know.
Mm,
It was just a nod, like a
that's
smile and a
crazy.
nod. Like, yeah, I already knew that shit. And I know because I did it. Okay.
And shit, there it is. I've been waiting for
Damn,
it.
Uh-huh.
that's
I had a question
crazy.
for y'all though.
What's
Have
up?
y'all noticed to me, I'm not gonna lie, as much as I can empathize with Mel and see her point of view on a lot of things, I feel like she's been looking crazy this season. And for me, I believe that that's confirmation that she's leaving the show. Number one,
Mm,
the sit down with Kimmy a couple episodes back about her kind of trolling when it comes to the drunk driving situation.
mhm.
It made her look crazy, and then her say that I don't feel like I need to explain that to you. It was just weird. It was so unlike Mel to me to say with her chest why she addressed Marsau Maurice the way that she did. So not only that, now we got the episode with Trish coming up where they're gonna address her as well. And I don't know. The scenes just haven't been favorable, and I don't feel like she has a lot of scenes like that. So to see them back to back over a couple of episodes is giving somebody mad, and she probably leaving.
To me, it's giving vengeance is mine, said the Lord.
Mm,
Yeah, but
damn.
Vengeance. That
do
to
you
me,
feel like she said it with her chest though? When she sat down in front of Kimmy, I don't feel like she said it with her chest.
I think Kimmy might be the only person that she tries to tread lightly with. But when it came to Latisha, she said what she had to say. When it came to Chris,
Yeah,
she
that's
basically
true.
said what she had to say with him. When it came to Maurice, she said what she had to say with him. I think there is a fondness of Kimmy,
Yes.
her want to not hurt her or you know what I'm saying? Also, I feel like she feels sorry for Kimmy because I think we all know Kimmy is at the house struggling, going through sicknesses in her body and dealing with Maurice, who seems to act like a teenager whenever he feels like it. So I think she feels bad for Kimmy and she tread light with Kimmy. But everybody else has been getting the
That's the
same
other thing I thought about.
energy.
I mean, I don't know. I can see it both ways. Even whenever she said that Nell wasn't her mentor, even though she introduced, I mean, come on, it's semantics. When she introduced Nell as her mentor, I took it as that was your friend. She was just an older lady. So
Yeah.
now all of a sudden it's like she not your mentor. I was just like, I don't
Because she
know.
gave
I
her
don't like
bad
that.
advice. I think
Yeah.
before I knew you were giving me bad advice, I had more respect for what you were doing for me. But now that I understand that your advice was bad advice, I don't respect you in the same way anymore. I don't know if that's ever happened to y'all, but like to me, it's something that happens with older women sometimes where you grew up respecting them for their point of view. But then when you get to a certain age, you start to realize that their mindset is
Mm-hmm.
not where it should
Stunted.
be. Yeah. And I think that another thing is that Nell has done these things that have shown her to be real immature, like acting a fucking fool over that name tag. Mel
Mhm.
always respond to things, but she clock them. And I think that it's just like over time, it's like I'm gonna give you some rope, but you're gonna hang yourself with it anyway. Because when she clocked that Nell didn't tell her about the Trisha and Chris shit, she clocked
Mm-hmm.
that shit in that conversation with Kimmy.
With
She was
Kimmy,
like,
the way
oh,
she smiled.
she was like, oh, she didn't tell me that. Uh-huh. Okay.
Mm.
Because that's gonna solidify I don't have to fuck with you no more. Because I think she already don't want to fuck with Nell no more. Because she's recognized how much Nell wants to be on this show. Also, Nell's personality is really bothersome to me for a woman her age. Like she act like a teenager sometimes to
She
me.
want to be young, girl.
Yeah.
Thank you for clocking it. Because that's
Mm-hmm.
okay. I said it in my Discord, and it was such a small thing, but I was just saying it. Her wanting to wear a white dress to the marriage, the vow renewal thing. For some reason I clocked that as like an immaturity thing. Like you wishing you were still young and a virgin or some shit when you were doing this versus like Jackie Christie used to wear black and different colors every time they renewed vows,
Mhm.
a different gown. I even like when I see like when Jamal Bryan and that lady got married, she wasn't wearing white, but her dress was huge and
She like,
beautiful.
yeah.
Like to me, I like when the older women
Mm,
kind of try to do something different.
I I don't know. I know she had two different dresses. I can't remember what her first one was. Jamal Bryant's
What's her
lady.
name?
Yeah, I don't remember but I
Carrie,
remember
Miss
seeing
Carrie.
two different looks, and I think both of them were like either pink or just not like a whole white dress. And I was just like, "You gonna wear white, Miss Snail?"
Yeah, she had on. I don't think this is white. It looks white because of the photo, but I don't know. It looks like it's like a off-white kind of color, like kind of what I had. I think that's what it was. It wasn't white,
But
but she
this is
had two
what
there.
that reflected to me. Now let's
Yeah.
try. That's what
Mhm.
that reflected to me.
The
Um,
blonde wigs.
yeah, the blonde wigs. Talk about
Yeah.
it.
hmm I mean, even when they talk about age, and it ain't even nothing shady. She be triggered. Like what?
She
Yeah.
do. She be
Like you
triggered for
want to
sure.
be a mentor, but then you don't want somebody to say you the oldest one here. Like what?
hmm
Pick
Yep.
a side. Damn it.
Like your
Yeah.
son is dating somebody in the group. Come on, read the room.
Hello.
I think Arion might come on the show.
I think so too, and that's probably why Mel
Quit
not.
playing.
I think that I do. I think that because I feel like they had to give Mel bad edits, in my opinion. Even though, granted, keep in mind, this is Carlos's show. Yes, Mel, was very instrumental. It was her show, but she don't make decisions like Mariah. He could do what the hell he want to do. So I feel like out of respect for her, they never had Ariane on,
Mhm.
right? And I think that a lot of times they may have given her possibly good edits in comparison to what some of the cast members may say, right? Now we're seeing a lot of bad edits or a lot of people complaining and feeling like, they feel different about Mel. I feel like they're doing that intentionally in order for her to feel away and be like, you know what? I'm good. I'm gonna go ahead and get the hell up off the table. And then they can roll in the new person. But
And
I can
that's when
definitely see this being her final season.
and
Honestly, I
that's when
think
the
at
show
some
gonna go to
point she
shit.
should. Yes, I
Where
was just
when
thinking,
Arion comes on,
oh, it's
that's
gonna
when the show's
burn
gonna go to shit.
I
because she's
think people gonna tune in for a little bit, but I don't think
then
it's
they gon'
enough to
it's
like.
not. It's not enough pull. She not enough
Mhm.
pull by herself. And you know she not because all she talk about is y'all needed me. Nobody needed you, bitch. You could have been anybody, bitch. You could have been anybody, and it would have been the
Yeah.
same situation. This man cheated on his wife. You being ignorant and loud and thinking you so fucking cute and young when you've aged badly in this situation, like you've aged badly in this situation. He ain't married you. He hasn't actually said that he go with you like that. Even if he is trying to get you on the show, he looked for other people to present as his woman before you, even though he was
Mhm.
still fucking you the whole time.
You
Then
know.
that
Oh,
interview
mhm.
that interview that they did, I'm sorry, but he fucked that girl. And I think that's what he was talking about when he kept saying on these scenes with Marsau, I fucked her first. To me, you fucked that girl with Marsau.
What girl? Arion?
The
No,
one
the
he interviewed.
one they interviewed.
Oh.
Oh, but I think they fucked Arion too. I think the other men fucked
Mm.
Arion too. I do. And that's why Martel stopped bringing her around. Because at some point she was like, "Oh, you stopped bringing me around." He was like, "Yeah, because we got too serious."
I think that he didn't. They didn't fuck her, but I think that the guys may have known a lot about how they operate.
Mhm.
That when she started being around more, they probably was like, "Hey, so you gonna let me?" And that could be why he stopped bringing her around
I mean, but
because
Marceau
the guys
called her
know
a
that could have been next.
Marceau called her a pass around, which made me feel like
So he did.
Ooh,
he did.
child, help me.
He said, "I wouldn't
Hmm.
leave my wife for a pass around side chick." And to me, that solidified that y'all shared her. Because why else
He
would you
said the
call her that?
things we done did together. I was like,
I
what the
can't,
fuck? Why do you keep
child.
saying that?
Because they have ran trains on girls together. That's why.
That is, I'm sorry. I just didn't know that grown ass men. Like, I don't know. I just never think about grown ass men doing
Only
it.
in
Like
college.
passport bros, yeah, yeah, in
Only in
college,
college. Like I've known
right?
people have done shit like that in college, but like grown, no,
Like
you go fuck a
50-year old.
bitch. You go fuck a bitch on your own.
Yeah, I mean these people ain't 50 right now. You know what I'm saying? Like
They
they was
40.
in their 30s and 20s and stuff. So it's like I
Oh,
feel
back
like for
then.
me, a lot of the younger folks they had to get it from somewhere when they was watching these damn
And y'all
ornos.
know these men, what we learned is the older men give the younger men bad advice. Would it Mel, that's all Mel wanted to bring to the forefront in that conversation with Chris, is that
And she
Martel said
did.
that y'all was just telling him to get an NDA and make sure the girl has something to lose. And when he said no, that sounds like something Maurice or Marsau would do. I said, oh, not
Mm,
you throwing them niggas under the bus.
I was thinking the same thing. I said,
Ah,
damn, why they
he wore
catch a
them out.
stray? I also didn't know that the time that they almost Nell and Fletcher almost got a divorce was when he was in his 20s. For
I don't
whatever
think it
reason, I
was.
was
I don't think it
yeah,
was.
because I was always under the impression that it was not too long ago. Maybe 10 years or less
That's what
from
I
when
was
we
thinking
first
about.
was introduced to them.
Yes, I was thinking about 10 years, but definitely not in his 20s as he was
20s.
18. No, nigga, because you was
Mhm.
married to when did you divorce from the other lady? Because you was married before you got with Nell. The time I need the timeline.
It
I
was
need the
very recent. It
timeline.
it had to be between 10 and 15, halfway through their marriage at least. Like I'm with y'all on that 10. I thought it was sooner too.
Hmm.
Cause
How long
I
was
thought
you
he
dating?
married the other wife when he was younger, like in his early 20s, I thought.
I thought. And Nell might have came late 20s, early 30s or something like that, which is usually how that shit go. People usually be married if they get married twice in their age range. Like my people and a lot of other people, you was married to somebody in your 20s. By the time you in your late 20s going into your 30s, that's your second marriage. Okay.
Child.
So yeah. He said 20 years ago, his 30s. Yeah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. You know why I don't believe that? Because I feel like first of all, the whole thing with the conversation on the phone with Trisha. I mean, on Martel and giving him Trisha's last name, and I didn't know her first name, but I knew her last name.
Thanks.
You tried to make that shit seem like it was so casual. But to me, when Nell said, is that something y'all do often? That was the right line of questioning. And Nell backed up off of it. And he threw in her face that she says that Martel is fine or this one is fine. She could say somebody fine. That's not the same thing as y'all fucking women and shopping for women together and doing
he
it
was
for one another.
derailing.
Yeah. That shit reminded me of, I said this before, the way like R. Kelly and all of them, and I'm just saying men think the same way, even if they're not always being outright predators. They are still thinking in a way like, I'm gonna have my homeboys shop for coochie for me. You see somebody out there you think I might like, bring them to me. That's weird for grown, like regular people to be doing to me. I don't know. Is it just me?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you think
It's
grown
weird that he was married and they was
that's
doing that.
and that's what I
That's the
mean.
thing.
That they're married and doing that. Not necessarily because if they were single, this wouldn't even be a fucking conversation. But the fact that y'all have like a secret brotherhood of cheating on
Fucking
y'all,
bitches.
yes, that's exactly
That
what
shit
it
is so
seems like.
sick.
And so then that brings me to the reason why a lot of people don't like Mel. This idea that Mel was just always trying to project and just, oh, my shit got fucked up, so I want everybody's shit to be fucked up. I'm like, I don't think it was ever that simple. I think Martel feels that way. It's very obvious.
Right.
I think Mel was more so stop talking to me and acting like the shit not happening to you too. Because Tisha was right out saying, I've never experienced that in my marriage. And Kimmy was over there acting like that wasn't happening with her. But once y'all got married and that picture came out of that nigga in Atlanta, you was talking about anything that happened before the marriage don't count. So obviously people was doing shit and y'all was just hiding it because y'all didn't want them to go through what Martel went through because Martel got his ass ate up.
Yep. They didn't want the public on their ass either.
No, but they was on them anyway. To the point that now I don't even know what to think about Marsau and his stance recently. Like, I don't know what to think about it because it come off like you now making sense and shit. But it also feels like you always knew these things. And that's another thing, y'all. When we want to talk about niggas knowing what they doing, Martel saying that that's why we want dumb wives because they gonna stay. To me, that mean you know exactly what you was trying to do to Mel. Like you knew exactly what you was trying to do to that lady. And then that even drives home even more so the way he was talking to Arion about her and hyping Arion up to be mad at Mel about shit. I said it the first season on Twitter that I felt like he was jealous of her. And now I feel like, yeah, nigga, for real. You really was jealous of that lady.
You wanted a wife that was going to be malleable. And that's what Arion is.
Yes, malleable, but not presentable enough. So he view her like she a mistake, like she's something he need to get away from. Like he was saying in that fucking that therapy session. And honestly, I felt like he was just saying whatever he thought the therapist wanted to hear because he want to fuck the therapist. That's what I perceive. You know, when a nigga just sitting there and they talking to you and they looking at you with their head kind of cocked to the side, like this fake genuine shit. I was just kind of like, yeah,
I was
really
wondering if the therapist was clocking him. Does she clock? Does she sit in front of a narcissist?
Yeah, I think she did. Because she was saying at times, she was like, yeah, I was just about to say, like, you're making excuses. Like, but are you clocking that he probably wants to fuck you? I hope so, because it was very obvious to me. Like, it was very obvious.